Welcome back to the award-winning Post Time. I'm Heather Vitale. Last weekend, my friend, harness racing statistician Bob Hollywood Hayden remarked, quote, "This is the best night for Delaware racing, but it didn't happen in Delaware," end quote. What? Bob was referring to the North America Cup, which happened at Mohawk Racetrack in Canada on June 20th. The North America Cup goes for $1 million Canadian and brings together the best 3-year-old pacers on the continent. And the first state was represented big time, as 2 of the top horses going to post are trained right in Harrington, Delaware. Undefeated Wiggle It Jiggle It, conditioned by Clyde Francis, was a perfect 11 for 11 going into the race. Driven by 24-year-old Montrell Teague for his father, owner George Teague, the race favorite is the overall track record holder at Harrington Raceway. And then there's Wakizashi Hanover. Although he's owned by a group from Nova Scotia, Canada, and driven by Tim Tetrick, the sophomore is trained by Harrington resident Ann Looney King. Let's take a look at the race.
They are often pacing and pushing forward from the inside. Wakizashi Hanover and Wiggle It Jiggle It, those two with the most early speed. From the outside, Ark Hanover is blasting as Christopher launches him up into the mix. Crossed over to get a seat fourth in the early going is in the Arsenal. Parked out from in fifth is Art Speak. Towards the inside from in sixth, quarter pole bound is Betting Exchange. In at the railway seventh, Good Friday 3. Riding parked out at his flank is Yankee Bounty. Last 2 in this field as they head by the quarter pole in the backfield there. Ark Hanover followed further back towards the inside. Racing up there towards the inside last as the field marches by the quarter in a very quick 25 1/5 there. First quarter, and it's on the board in 25 1. And with that lead, as they move up towards the midway point now, Wiggle It Jiggle It dropped to the pocket spot when Wakizashi Hanover parked out from in third. Penji Hanover on his cover fourth to the outside comes Art Speak. Then inside from in fifth is in the Arsenal. Picking up cover outside to Yankee Bounty now from in sixth. Seventh through at the rail, Betting Exchange. Back 3 in the field as they move into the final turn are Ark Hanover, Good Friday 3, and the last one is Hurricane Ali. 53 3 for the first half, and they roll into the final turn to 3/4. Wiggle It Jiggle It still there with that lead. Second at the inside is Wakizashi Hanover tripping out. 3 wide, tearing off cover comes Art Speak now from the backfield. 3/4, 1:21. And as they come into the stretch, the one to try and track down here, Wiggle It Jiggle It, lays it all on the line. Here to the outside comes Wakizashi Hanover to take his best crack at him. Wiggle It Jiggle It put to pressure. Wakizashi Hanover on the outside comes by. And it's Tetrick and Wakizashi Hanover off the dreamy 2-hole trip. Crown him the king of the Pepsi North American Cup. Wakizashi Hanover wins over Wiggle It Jiggle It in 1:48.
Wiggle It Jiggle It set the fractions while Wakizashi Hanover got a perfect trip and then angled out in mid-stretch for the 1:48 win. But let's be very clear that there's no shame in Wiggle It Jiggle It's game. He raced incredibly, and just because he was second in this event doesn't make him any less of an extraordinary animal. It was a 1-2 Delaware punch in the richest harness racing pace on the continent. Let's head to the North America Cup winner circle with Wakizashi Hanover.
It makes my grandma happy. We're gonna have this trophy. Has a greatest moment ever in my life.
For my dad. This is for my dad.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
How hard were you driving him home?
Okay. As always, I'm just screaming.
My horse was really strong, and I was following Montrell's horse as long as I could. I didn't want to pull too quick, but when I pulled him, I was real confident. I still had the plugs in, and I got even with him and pulled him, and he got by him and held the lead, so I was super happy with his effort.
It's a dream to win $1 million race in North America. Our guys, we have 3 brand new owners in the harness racing game in our syndicate, and they're ecstatic. Us old guys that are in there too are pretty ecstatic. This is the top.
What a night! And we'll be keeping track of our Delaware trained stars as they compete in world-class events during the stakes season.